Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Miss Ebony J, the host that does the most, and you are listening to Soul 101.5, 100.3 Cincy's R&B station, and 101.1 The Wiz, and also 1230 The Buzz, our talk station. Welcome to Community Conversations, a place where we come to talk about things happening in our community and how there are nonprofit organizations providing the solution for that. And I'm so glad to have in here a representative from UC Health and Science, Miss Rafi Wahab. How you doing, beautiful?
I'm wonderful. How are you today? Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad that you were able to come because I know it's hard getting off work to come to, really have a conversation. So I appreciate it so much.
Well, this is a very important conversation, and I'm honored to be here to discuss it with our audience and kind of get real about talking about breast health.
So tell us a little bit about you. Give us your background.
Okay, so I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. I'm a physician. I went to medical school at Michigan State University and continued my training in Henry Ford. Went on to specialize in breast imaging at Vanderbilt, and then found myself here at Cincinnati. And currently I'm a physician at UC Health dealing with breast cancer.
So do you like it? Because it sounds like you're very passionate. Is this a passion you've always had?
Yes. So, growing up, this is actually going back to my mom. I was always looking for female physicians and somebody who could take care of her breast health because I feel like women, we connect with each other in a different manner. And I realized, I was like, I'm having a really hard time finding a breast specialist, a breast radiologist for her to talk about her breast health. And at that moment, I was like, okay, I know what I need to do. I see there's a community need. I see there's a need for women, in particularly women of color and women of various ethnic backgrounds. And there it was. So launched my career. I love it. It's difficult. It's challenging. There's ups and there's downs, but it's amazing.
My first question is just, when should women really get started with the whole annual mammogram phase?
Great question. Okay, so I really want to keep this very simple.
Okay.
Start screening at the age of 40. That's when the most lives are saved, okay? A lot of professional societies, they have varying guidelines out there, and it can be very confusing, can be very frustrating for our patients, for our women. So I say just keep it simple. On your 40th birthday, put a little reminder for yourself. Get that mammogram. Now, I want to talk about patients who have an elevated risk of breast cancer.
Yes.
Okay? So those are a special case. If you have a greater than 20% chance of developing breast cancer within your lifetime, you may qualify for supplemental screening. In particular, the American College of Radiology recognizes that African American women and women of Jewish descent have an elevated risk, okay? So it's important for our women to go out there and have a conversation about breast health at the age of 30, okay? So what am I talking about? Follow up with your primary care doctor. Seek out a breast specialist. Have a discussion by your 30th birthday. Ask questions about what are my risk factors? Should I start screening at an earlier age? Or should I be doing more than just a screening mammogram?
Right. When we're thinking about the risk, how do you kind of factor that? Because is that through like genetics or is this like things that we may eat?
So risk is multifactorial, okay? One, it's about your family history, okay? It's also about genetics, okay? But it also is beyond that. We know that African American women face a different type of breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
They can be more aggressive, okay? And also some of the treatments that we have available may not effectively treat that type of breast cancer, which we call triple negative. So looking at all of those factors together, that's what we're looking for risk. There's more involved than that, but that's kind of basic overview, okay? Let's talk about your own personal health. It's always very important. Healthy diet, exercise. Stay away from smoking. Smoking can increase your risk of cancers, multiple cancers. So stay away from smoking. Limit your alcohol intake. Just overall taking measures to be safe, okay? Be healthy.
Now, I want to go back to smoking because I feel like there are different misconceptions about when people say smoking. If I'm smoking cigarettes or I'm just smoking tobacco versus marijuana, am I more safe? Does this really have an impact? What would you say?
So that's a very good question. Currently, more data needs to be, or more research needs to be done in that realm. I think overall, when you're smoking cigarettes, tobaccos without filters, they have negative health effects. All of those we have not even fully understood. For example, like the recent phenomenon of vaping, we're now seeing the effects of what's happening with that. So, great question. More research needs to be done, but we do know at a base level that these do have negative effects on your health overall.
Yeah, just don't smoke.
Just don't smoke.
Just don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Now, you also mentioned exercise. I know they say 30 minutes a day, should be the included time for health. Are we speaking on just walking, or should this be a workout type of thing that they're doing daily? What are your thoughts there?
That's a great question as well. You're really getting into the nitty gritty. I love it. Okay. So here's what I want to do. Again, like I like to keep things simple. If you can get any form of exercise, if it's a 30-minute walk, do it. It's better than doing nothing. If you can amplify that and get in an intense workout, wonderful. But if you're thinking, oh man, I can't get that intense workout in, so I'm not going to do anything. No, get out there, do the walk. If you're on your lunch break, get out there 10 minutes. Anything you do is better than nothing. And then as you start to get used to it, you'll slowly build and you slowly want to do more. So any exercise, but just kind of keep growing with it.
Again, this is Community Conversations on 101.5, 1230 The Buzz, your talk station, 100.3 Cincy's R&B station, and 101.1 The Wiz. I am Miss Ebony J. We are having a community conversation with UC Health, and I'm so glad to have in here with me Dr. Wahab. I'm so glad to have you here. Look, you got me tongue-tied. I'm just so excited because when doctors come in, it's always more normally you don't really know how to get that conversation out because doctors are so serious and they're in doctor moment, and language is just so refreshing to have you here as a woman to be able to really give us this breakdown because breast cancer is really impacting our families. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and everyone's always talking about get a mammogram, but what are the real mammogram guidelines?
Okay, so great question, and I am so excited to be here too, kind of having this conversation with Miss Ebony, so thank you for having me. Let's talk about mammograms. Okay, so we already touched on, let's keep it simple, start at the age of 40, okay? We talked about our African-American women. Let's have that breast health conversation with our primary care doctors or breast specialists by the age of 30 to clearly identify your risk. Now let's talk about the type of mammograms out there, okay? There's both 2D and 3D mammograms. 3D mammograms, also referred to as tomosynthesis, is a new innovative tool in mammography, okay? I highly encourage women to get the 3D mammogram. 3D mammograms allow the radiologist to see through breast tissue clearer than the 2D mammogram. It's like flipping through pages of a book. When you flip through the pages, you can see each individual page. You see more information. When you try to look at a closed book through the cover, you can't see those pages. That's what a 2D mammogram is like, looking at a closed book. But a 3D is like flipping open that book and seeing all of that information. So I encourage all women to get that 3D mammogram. It detects breast cancers at an earlier stage, and also it detects more breast cancers. At UC Health, we have 3D tomosynthesis throughout all of our facilities, including our mobile van. So women, when they come in for their appointment, they'll be asked 2D or 3D mammogram. I highly encourage get that 3D mammogram. It helps the radiologist, like myself, detect more breast cancer, and it's better for you.
Now, you want to get both, but 3D is better? Or
okay,
you're saying...
So there's two types. Good question. There's two types, a 2D and a 3D. So when you ask for the 3D mammogram, you're going to get that full view where multiple pictures are taken of that breast tissue for the radiologist to look at.
That's our 2D.
Yeah, that's your 3D.
That's your 3D.
The 2D is just one single picture, okay? So the technologist will ask you that at the time because they also want to make sure that, you're given both options. I would highly recommend that you say, I would like the 3D mammogram, the tomosynthesis, that gives your radiologist, your physician, the best opportunity to detect a breast cancer.
Because it's really getting in there.
It is.
One is kind of like more of a vague view.
Right.
The other is we're getting to the
through multiple layers there. Yes.
That's what we want to hear. That's what we like to see. Now, what are the first signs of breast cancer? Like, how does a woman really know?
Okay.
Is the only way to know is by going to a doctor?
Okay, so let's talk about this. So the goal of a mammogram is to detect a breast cancer before you see signs and symptoms.
Before you
Okay?
see signs and symptoms.
So that's
okay.
why we recommend coming in every year to get that mammogram, so we're detecting it before you see any signs and symptoms. Once you start to see signs and symptoms, the concern is that we're seeing a breast cancer at a more advanced stage. Okay?
So people aren't getting checked regularly, and we're finding out at the last minute.
Right. So some of the signs that I want you to be aware of is looking for lumps. So do you feel an area that feels more like a golf ball or an olive, a lump? Okay, something you're feeling. Nipple discharge. If you're seeing discharge that's coming out of your nipple on your own, that's bloody or clear, those are signs of breast cancer. Breast pain. Want to look for changes in the skin. Okay, so those are things that I would highly recommend, keeping an eye out for. I also encourage my women to do self breast exams every month. Okay, you're gonna know your breasts the best. Okay, do it the same time of the month, same place, same. Like if you're gonna say I'm gonna do it right when my cycle starts, I'm gonna do it in the shower that morning. Be consistent. That's how you will know your breast tissue the best. If you notice any change, get right in to see your doctor. Do not wait.
Now, you did mention pains.
Mm-hmm.
If you're feeling awkwardness pain, like what kind of pain are you describing?
So most of the time when I talk about pains that can be a sign of a breast cancer, I'm talking about where you can take your two fingers and say, I feel this pain right here in my breast, and it's been there for several days. It's not letting up.
Okay.
So yes, as a woman, we
Get
do feel
comfortable.
we do feel these twinges and pains here and there,
Right.
But it's something that's persistent and consistent, and you can literally say, yes, here it is, doc. This is where I'm feeling it.
Okay. Yeah, so be certain, queens, don't be afraid to really touch yourself, so that way you know the best parts of you, and this is not just a soreness. This isn't just, an awkward moment. This is something that it's unusual. It's
Right.
time to call the doctor. Now, I don't want to ignore my kings that are listening, because we know that it's not just in women who are experiencing breast cancer. I know Beyonce's dad, Matthew Knowles, just came out
That
and
is
said
right.
that he's experienced breast cancer. So what about our men?
So our men, there's no screening recommendation for average risk men.
Okay.
Now, say if a man, their mother, sister, or a daughter has a history of breast cancer, they may go under genetic testing. So if there is a genetic link, I would highly recommend patients with BRCA mutations in their family or personally have a BRCA mutation to go undergo screening. And we do offer screening mammogram for men who are at high risk. Same thing goes for them. Know yourself. Don't be afraid to do your breast exam. Like we talked to our women, look at yourself in the mirror. Does something look asymmetric? Do the exam.
Oh, wow. So men can do breast exams as well,
yes, ma'am. And they should.
And so I guess for men, it would just be making sure what they're even, that one's not bigger than the other. Do men get discharged as well? Would that be a sign?
So
How will we
usually
know?
for men, we're talking about lumps.
Okay.
And we're talking about skin changes. And that's also about that, looking at different sizes, because you may have something brewing on one side. That's why that one side is larger than the other. Okay. Now, men also have a common phenomenon called gynecomastia, which is development of breast tissue in men. Now, that is not cancer. Okay. It has the same risk of developing cancer if it was there or not, if that makes sense. So if you had gynecomastia or didn't, your risk level is still the same. It's usually related to medications that a patient can be on. Could also be related to changes in hormones. And also, if your father had it, you probably are going to have it. Your son is probably going to have
Right.
it, So those are just things for men to be aware of as well. And yes, with Beyonce's father coming out and talking about breast health and his experience with breast cancer, I think that's huge. We need to talk about breast cancer in men, okay? It is sometimes a difficult topic for men, but this is very important.
And it sounds like we definitely need to just talk about it in general, because knowing whether or not your grandma had it, auntie had it, if it's genetic, it sounds like it can be very important, especially on the side when it comes to men.
Yes. And women, like for your daughter, I tell, my friends, have those conversations with your mom, have it with your grandma, have it with your aunt, because sometimes we shy away from talking about personal topics like breast health and breast cancer, but that's how you're going to save your loved one. That's how you're going to help your loved one. So, try to be more open. Keep notes of your own health, because you don't know when that will come into use for your children, your grandchildren, great grandchildren. And, be open, talk about it, because I think also in our community sometimes we shy away from talking about personal things.
Yeah.
We want to be that strong woman or strong, father figure, strong man in the family, but we also got to share our vulnerabilities. That's what makes us human, that's what connects us, and that's how we can help each other.
We've lost some men and women both to breast cancer, and we want to take a moment of silence for them. Rest in peace. We are praying for the families. We are definitely sorry for your loss, but understand that when you are diagnosed with breast cancer or any type of cancer, it is a diagnostics, but it's not a death wish. It's not a death sentence or anything of that. You can overcome with the right help and support and people around you, and UC Health is here for that. Now, maybe someone is listening right now and have gotten opinion about it. Is there anything that you want us to know that we didn't discuss today? I know we have a couple more minutes left. Is there anything that you want to discuss or want the audience to know?
I would one last strong push. Get your screening mammogram starting at 40. When we start screening mammogram at 40, and with our improved cancer treatments, the mortality rate or death rate from breast cancer has decreased by 40%.
Oh, no, that's good.
That is huge, okay? Huge. So, really take that time. It's a 20-minute appointment. It can save your life, change your life, and also affect the lives of your family.
Where can we go to learn more about breast cancer or the services that UC Health can offer?
So you can visit us at our website at UC Health to get more information on where our screening locations are. If you get into the UC Health website, you can go ahead and type in breast screening mammography. It'll give you the locations. We have sites in Westchester. We have a Midtown location, and down here at University Hospital, as well as our mobile unit is throughout the community.
Oh, yes, you all do have the mobile unit.
So, look for us in your community. Sometimes we're at, your local Kroger area, or outside in the community. We're there. We have a schedule out there. Come see us on our mobile van. Also, to go ahead and schedule an appointment, you can call us at 513-584-PINK. That's 513-584-PINK, P-I-N-K.
Now, if someone wants the van to pull up to their business, do you all do that?
Yes, so we do. We can get their contact information. They can submit that through our website at uchealth.com, just searching out our mobile mammography unit. And also, if they have difficulty getting through that, just call us at 513-584-PINK, and we will get them to the right person.
Well, thank you so much again. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much for having me, Ebony. This was wonderful.
It really was. Sometimes it's so uncomfortable to have conversations just about health. We don't like going to the doctor, of course. Every time you go for one thing, it's like going to get your oil changed. You go for one thing, they tell you 10 other things. You like, I just came for this. But as we can see, this is a conversation that's so very important in our community. We have to be knowledgeable, and I think that's the thing, is that we're afraid. We don't have the information. They say something we don't understand, and then this fear takes over. So I appreciate you coming here, being able to break it down, dumb it down for me, and answer some of these questions. I'm not like, girl, why you ask me this? But I just, we have to think about our audience and, meet people where they are.
These are excellent questions. And, don't be afraid to ask your physician or radiologist. We're here to help you. We're here for you to explain things. And, fear is a big thing. And I get it. I'm also, when I have to encounter various situations, fear also overtakes me myself. So I understand. And hopefully we'll see some of our community members out at UC Health getting those mammograms. Spread the word for me too, ladies, because I can talk here blue in my face, but sometimes if your girlfriend says, hey, get that mammogram, I know you're going to get it.
Yes.
So bring a friend. When you get your mammogram, bring a friend with you.
Y'all could do it on a lunch date or something.
Yes. Oh my God, that's a great idea. I love it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you again, Dr. Wahab. And I will see you again. Just call me whenever you need to come in and spread some more word. This is Community Conversations on Soul and 1230 The Buzz, your talk station, 100.3 R&B, Cincy, and 101.1 The Wiz. I'm Miss Ebony J, and I will see you next week.